Good afternoon. The southwest monsoon or Habagat will continue to affect Metro Manila, Central Luzon, Southern Luzon, according to Pag-asa. Based on the Weather Bureau's bulletin posted at 11 a.m. on Wednesday, August 28, light to moderate with occasional heavy rains are expected over Metro Manila, Laguna, Cavite, Rizal, Quezon, Bulacan, Zambales, Pampanga, Tarlac, Nueva Ecija, and Bataan. A heavy rainfall warning is also placed in Batangas. Parts of Metro Manila experienced heavy rains on Wednesday early morning, which prompted some local government units to suspend classes. Flooding was also reported in several parts of the capital region. Pag-asa also reports that La Mesa Dam's water level reached spilling level because of the continuous rains brought by Habagat. In its 5:30 a.m. bulletin, the water level in the dam was measured at 80.16 meters, which exceeded the spilling level of 80.15 meters. Meanwhile, Malacanang has also suspended classes in all public schools and work in government offices. Vice President Sara Duterte clarifies her silence on China's harassment of Filipino fisherfolk and Philippine Coast Guard personnel, saying that it is the role of relevant agencies to address these issues. During her speech at the House of Representatives Committee on Appropriations hearing regarding the proposed 2025 budget of the Office of the Vice President, Duterte responds to her critics who have observed that she has been silent on the issue on the West Philippine Sea.
While silence on specific harassment issues may be perceived as a lack of response, it is essential to recognize that such decisions are made following established mandates and particular responsibilities of relevant agencies. It is well settled that the President is the chief architect of foreign policy. It therefore follows that appropriate agencies are tasked with addressing and implementing measures related to our foreign policy positions and principles.
Duterte says she also agrees that the Philippines' claims on the disputed region at the West Philippine Sea are anchored on the Permanent Court of Arbitration Award, which stated that China's 9-line claim has no historical nor legal basis.
As Filipinos, we are all in agreement that our claim is firmly anchored on the UN Convention on the Law of the Seas and the 2016 Arbitral Award. But we must also bear in mind that bilateral relations are not dictated by a singular issue or concern like a territorial dispute, but rather by a comprehensive approach that considers the broader context of shared interests and regional stability.
The Vice President says she recognizes the efforts and sacrifices made by the uniformed personnel guarding the country's territory, but says that politicizing their sacrifices for media commentary must be avoided. She adds that the Office of the Vice President continues to recognize their efforts, but chooses to do it away from the cameras. Several personalities within the opposition and the administration have questioned why Duterte remains silent over key issues, particularly over the West Philippine Sea, but actively speaks on other issues, including the arrest warrant being served by sect leader Pastor Apollo Kibuloy. Vice President Sara Duterte has no idea why her predecessor, former Vice President Leni Robredo, did not request for a bigger budget for the Office of the Vice President. In her speech before the House of Representatives Committee on Appropriations deliberation on the Office of the Vice President's proposed budget for 2025, Duterte says it would be a stretch to compare her office's budget to that of Robredo.
I shall now address the issues that are germane to the use of public funds. It is my belief that it would be a stretch, if not absurd, to compare the budget of my immediate predecessor to the present budget proposal. We do not have personal knowledge as to why she did not request for a fair budget for her projects.
Under the 2025 National Expenditures Program, the Office of the Vice President got a 2.37 billion pesos budget allocation. On the other hand, the Office of the Vice President's budget under Robredo, which was crafted under the time of Duterte's father, former President Rodrigo Duterte, had encountered several cuts, with National Expenditures Program versions not reaching the 1 billion peso mark. According to the Department of Budget and Management's Budget of Expenditures and Sources of Financing for fiscal year 2023, the Office of the Vice President under Robredo had an actual budget of 945.4 million pesos. Meanwhile, tensions flared between Vice President Duterte and some lawmakers during the hearing of the Office of the Vice President's 2025 budget. Lawmakers called out Duterte's insistence on not directly answering questions, particularly about confidential fund usage in the past fiscal years. Dismissed Bamban Mayor Alice Go left the country because she was sad, according to Sheila Go. During the hearing of the Senate Subcommittee on Justice and Human Rights on Tuesday, August 27, Senator Grace Poe asked Sheila, who was earlier identified as Alice's sister, to explain why they had to leave the country. Sheila responded,
Ang sabi niya, nalulungkot daw siya. Sabi niya, ate, samahan mo ako. May pupuntahan tayo, sabi niya.
Okay, hindi mo naman siya tinanong bakit ka nalulungkot.
Alam ko dahil sa hilig.
Sheila also narrated how she and her reported siblings, Alice and Wesley, left the Philippines by sea to Malaysia last month before heading to Singapore and Indonesia. According to Sheila, they arrived in Indonesia on August 18 but parted ways either on August 19 or 20. Sheila, together with Alice's business associate Cassandra Ong, was arrested in Indonesia on August 21. The two were brought back to the Philippines in August 22. Sheila is currently detained in the Senate while Ong is detained in the House of Representatives, which is conducting its own hearing on Pogos. These are the stories you need to know today. I'm Neil Mercado. Follow INQUIRER.net on Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Reddit. For more stories, visit INQUIRER.net. Good afternoon.